All right, we're going to start today off with you doing an uninstructed drawing of your own hand, okay? So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to draw your hand with no instruction whatsoever. So you need to get those sketchbooks, a pencil, and just put your hand in any pose you want and draw as much of that hand as you can in 3 minutes. So if the guest teacher could please pause this video and allow the students 3 minutes to draw their hand. Okay, go. All right, so hopefully you had the video paused and you had a moment to draw your hand. And now let's talk about that drawing and what it looked like. Let's be honest. Did anybody actually end up with a drawing that might have looked something like this? Did you just put your hand down on the paper and trace it? I usually get a couple people. This is what I call a hand turkey, because when you were in like preschool, kindergarten, your teachers had you put your hand down and trace it, and then you turned it into a turkey. Really cute when you're in preschool and kindergarten. And in fact, this is a contour line drawing because it's a line drawing of the edges of things. Now, I did have you guys on Monday do the upside down drawing, and this is a contour line drawing of Igor Stravinsky. So a contour line drawing is just a line drawing of the edges of things here. So there's no shading, there's no texture, it's just the edges. I do want you to pay attention to, because this is going to be important with your hands too, how a contour line drawing does have edges of things like wrinkles, right? So I can see the wrinkles in the fabric and those details in the clothing, but it is still just the edges without any shading added. So here's a couple definitions for you guys to know. One is line, and it's a silly definition, but line is a moving dot. You basically put your dot down on the paper and then you move it and it becomes a line. But lines can be lots of different things. They can be curvy, wavy, jagged, right? But they can also be contour, blind, and modified, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So I just discussed a contour line drawing. It's the outside edges of an object. Today, we're going to be practicing blind contour, which is a contour line drawing that's completed only by looking at the object and not your paper at all. And a modified contour drawing is a contour where you're allowed to look at both the paper and the object, but you're really mostly supposed to be looking at the object and only take a second to glance at your paper. So what's the point of doing these things, these exercises? So again, we're talking right brain, left brain stuff here. And this is a training exercise to get you to start to use your eyes and not your brain, especially your left brain. So part of the idea of being able to draw is that you really look at your subject, because your brain can create ideas as to what things are. They'll create symbols. Like this is a hand. You may recognize this guy. It's the hamburger helper guy, right? So your brain can draw this and say, oh yeah, that's a hand. Or they can see the picture of this and say, oh yeah, I know that guy. That's that glove that helps you, cook your hamburger helper meal or whatever, like in the commercials. I don't know if you guys have even seen that, but that's what this is, right? So you recognize it. It's a symbol of a hand. But if you're really, really looking carefully at the hamburger helper hand, he doesn't even have 5 digits. He has 3 fingers and a thumb. So that's not really what a hand looks like. I want you guys to be able to draw a hand like this. So blind and modified contour is going to help you be able to go from hamburger helper / turkey hand to something a little more realistic. Here's another example of a symbol of how people draw. Stick figures, right? We've talked about that, and some of you guys only know how to draw stick figures. Well, we're going to get past that today. And here's an example of a good stick figure. But look at his feet. That is so weird. Who stands with their toes pointed out and their legs spread apart like that? Nobody stands like that. So why do we draw people like that? It's because we're drawing on a 2-dimensional surface, which is paper. It has height and it has width, but it does not have depth. So you're trying to create depth on something that has no depth. This is called foreshortening. It's a very challenging thing to tackle in drawing. So what we tend to do is turn the feet outward to the side so that we're not dealing with depth anymore, and really only we're dealing with is the height of the foot and the width of the foot. It makes it two-dimensional again. So that happens a lot where people will automatically put things into profile so they don't have to deal with that third dimension on a two-dimensional surface. Here's another example of a great symbol. What a beautiful flower. It looks nothing like an actual flower, but your brain, especially your left brain, can recognize this symbol as a flower. So our goal by the end of today is that you are no longer drawing your figures, your hands, and your flowers like this hamburger helper hand slash flower, but you're really starting to look at things and being able to kind of capture the depth and the realism that goes with it. So here's what we're going to do today. You guys are going to practice, and you are going to watch the videos that I am leaving with you. One is on blind contour drawing. You only need to do 1 2-minute blind contour drawing of your hand in your sketchbook, and you're going to post that in the slideshow, which I'll show you in a minute. So you're going to watch the video, you're going to do a 2-minute drawing in your sketchbook. Then you're going to watch the second video, which is on modified contour, and you're going to draw 2 modified contour drawings of your hand. I want each one of those 2 modified contour drawings to be 10 minutes each. So you will probably need to set a timer so that you know that you're just doing 10 minutes. I don't want you to go past 10 minutes even if you don't complete the hand. I just want you to have the experience of being able to draw with blind and modified contour. So all of these drawings you're going to need to post in your slideshow by the end of today. So let me show you that slideshow. I'm going to post this in Schoology for you. It's called Contour Practice. You're going to put your name here. This slide 1 is going to be your uninstructed hand, which is the one that you've already done at the beginning of class. It took you 3 minutes if it's a turkey hand or whatever else. This is your uninstructed hand. It goes here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do your blind contour here. This is a 2-minute blind contour of your hand. You're going to post a picture of it here. And then last but not least, in this slide, you're going to post 2 10-minute modified contour drawings. So I want to see 2 different drawings of your hand here. Okay, so that is your asynchronous work to go ahead and post these 3 drawings when you are complete. And good luck and have fun. Remember, this is an exercise. Don't get frustrated. It's just to help you start to learn to see things.